Every night, without ceremony, you walk through a door with no handle. It swings open the moment your eyes close, and you cross into a corridor of silence where time bends and form dissolves. But because you never realize you've crossed, you never realize you can choose where it leads. The ancients whispered that sleep was not rest but passage, a hidden gate into the unseen. The Egyptians called it the journey through the duat. The mystics called it the chamber of visions. And today, neuroscience calls it altered states of consciousness. 3 languages, 1 truth: sleep is a portal. Carl Jung once said, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes." But what if both happen in the same place? What if the world you enter in sleep is not illusion, but architecture, a mirror of vibration shaping the stage you will wake into? That is the question this video dares to answer. Why you always wake in the same reality? Why vibration is the hidden key to your nightly journeys, and how to use sleep not as an escape, but as a laboratory of creation. Stay with me until the end, because there is one revelation, one forgotten practice, that will change the way you fall asleep forever. For the Egyptians, sleep was not a pause in life. It was a voyage of the soul through the duat, the invisible world beneath the visible. They believed that every night, your essence stepped beyond the physical body, wandering through realms where gods, ancestors, and hidden knowledge resided. And at the threshold of this nightly journey stood Thoth, the keeper of wisdom, guardian of the cosmic script. To the Greeks, Hypnos and Morpheus were not simple deities of rest, but bridges. Hypnos lowered the veil, while Morpheus carved the visions you carried back from beyond. Dreams were messages, not noise. They were codes from the unseen, often carrying truths you were not ready to face in daylight. Shamans across continents shared the same conviction. When a seeker lay down to sleep, their spirit could travel across dimensions, retrieving guidance, healing, or warnings. For them, sleep was a ritual, a sacred initiation into the hidden theater of the cosmos. Every night, a ceremony unfolded, whether the dreamer knew it or not. And here lies the forgotten wisdom. For all these cultures, sleep was never passive. It was not an unconscious drift, but a sacred act, a door into mysteries reserved for the aware. Modernity, however, has stripped sleep of its holiness, reducing it to cycles and hormones, while the deeper truth, the vibrational gateway, waits, neglected, for those bold enough to rediscover it. Science now begins to confirm what the ancients intuited. Sleep is not the shutting down of the mind, but its transformation. When you cross into the night, your brain does not fall silent, it changes frequency. Theta waves open the doorway to vivid imagery, unlocking imagination and memory. Delta waves pull you deeper into the vast ocean of the unconscious, where time dissolves and the body repairs itself in silence. Modern neuroscience has found that in these stages, the regions of the brain responsible for filtering reality relax. The rigid grip of logic softens. Barriers that separate conscious thought from hidden memory fall away. In this loosened state, fragments of forgotten experiences, symbols from the collective unconscious, and even insights beyond ordinary perception can rise to the surface. This means sleep is not chaos. It is architecture, a structured passage into deeper states of being. Like chambers in a hidden temple, each frequency holds a key, one for imagination, another for healing, another for transcendence. The ancients described this in myth and symbol. Science describes it in charts and scans. But they are pointing to the same mystery. And here's the revelation. When the brain loosens its grip, the vibrational field becomes more accessible. In sleep, you are not confined to the narrow tunnel of waking perception. You are immersed in a wider ocean of energy, the same field that mystics described as the invisible fabric of creation, and that modern physics edges toward calling the quantum field. The question is no longer if the portal exists, but whether you are aware enough to step through it. Nothing rests. Nothing is truly still. This is the first principle whispered by the Hermetic Masters, echoed in the Kabbalion. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. If this is true, and both mystics and scientists agree it is, then sleep is not absence, it is resonance. When your body collapses into stillness, your energy does not. It continues to hum, to pulse, to vibrate at frequencies that shape what you encounter in the unseen. A restless mind, heavy with anxiety, will vibrate at a jagged frequency, and the portal will answer with chaotic, fragmented dreams. A heart at peace vibrates differently, opening the way for symbolic clarity, archetypal visions, even glimpses of higher realities. This is why the ancients treated the act of falling asleep as ritual. They knew that the frequency you carry across the threshold is the compass of the journey. If you descend with fear, you descend into realms of shadow. If you cross with harmony, you touch luminous worlds. The portal does not lie. It mirrors what you bring, and here lies the hidden key. Sleep does not transport all dreamers to the same landscape. It amplifies the vibration each one carries. What you experience at night is not random. It is the echo of your own frequency, reflected back as imagery, narrative, and sometimes revelation. The portal does not open into one world. It opens into many, each one tuned to the vibration of its traveler. Most people enter sleep the way they enter anesthesia, suddenly, blindly, without awareness of crossing a threshold. They collapse into the night, carrying the weight of their fears, their unfinished arguments, their silent anxieties. And so they cross the portal not as conscious travelers, but as passengers knocked unconscious. The result is predictable. They awaken in the same reality, day after day, as if nothing has shifted. It is like watching the same film every night in a theater where the reel never changes. The scenery may vary slightly, but the script is recycled. The portal exists, but for the unconscious sleeper, it is a revolving door. This is why traditions of awakening place so much emphasis not on the act of waking in the morning, but on the act of falling asleep with awareness. The Tibetans trained disciples in dream yoga, learning to recognize the dream state as a state of consciousness rather than illusion. Shamans taught apprentices to step into sleep with intention, because they knew, if you enter unconscious, you will return unchanged. Here lies the unspoken tragedy of modern life. Billions walk through a cosmic gateway every night, and almost none realize it. They drift, they forget, they repeat. The cycle continues. Reality remains unaltered, and the deeper invitation of sleep is lost in the fog of forgetfulness. The portal is generous, but it does not serve those who refuse to open their eyes within it. Sleep is the kingdom of the subconscious. When the conscious mind releases its grip, it is the subconscious that takes the stage, shaping landscapes, symbols, and stories. It does not invent randomly. It projects what it holds most deeply: your beliefs, your fears, your unspoken desires. If the subconscious is burdened with trauma, it will replay those wounds as restless loops of nightmare and repetition. If it carries clarity and intention, it will paint visions of possibility, expansion, and guidance. What you see at night is not fantasy. It is architecture, drafted by the builder inside you. Freud called dreams the royal road to the unconscious. Jung saw them as letters from the collective psyche. Different metaphors, same truth. To ignore what unfolds in sleep is to ignore half of your own mind. The subconscious is not passive. It is an active scriptwriter, endlessly rehearsing the reality you will wake into. And here lies the hidden paradox. The portal of sleep does not only connect you to other dimensions, it connects you to the one within. The subconscious is the bridge between worlds, internal and external, hidden and revealed. To master sleep, then, is not simply to travel outward, but to sit face to face with the architect that has always been scripting your waking reality. For the priests of Egypt, sleep was not private. It was sacred. They practiced what was called dream incubation, resting within temple chambers, surrounded by symbols and chants, asking the gods for visions that could heal or guide. To them, sleep was not random imagery. It was communication with the divine. In Tibet, monks cultivated the discipline of dream yoga. Their goal was not to control the dream, but to remain lucid within it, to recognize the dream as dream, and through that recognition, realize that waking life itself is another layer of dream. The portal of sleep was a training ground for awakening. Shamans and countless traditions guided seekers into dream journeys with herbs, chants, and drumming. They believed the soul could leave the body at night, traveling to retrieve wisdom, protection, or healing. Every ritual had one common thread: intention. They entered the night as one enters a ceremony, not as one falls into a void. Modern seekers are rediscovering these practices. A simple dream journal can begin to train the mind to notice patterns. Meditation before sleep can set the vibrational tone of the night. Techniques of lucid dreaming can transform passive drifting into active exploration. The form has changed, but the essence is the same. The way you step into sleep determines what the portal will reveal. The portal is always open. But without a map, you return to the same village every night. The key is ritual, a conscious sequence that programs the vibration you carry across, and the reality you anchor when you return. What follows is not superstition, but science wrapped in symbol, ancient wisdom dressed in modern practice. It is the art of crossing. Before sleep, the descent. First, cleanse the mind. 3 minutes of mental dumping onto paper. Every worry, every unfinished thought, so the subconscious no longer has to carry the noise. Then, slow the body with the breath of 4, 7, 8. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. This is the vibrational broom, sweeping away the static. Second, ignite the state. Choose one emotion: gratitude, peace, courage, and relive it until it vibrates in your body. The law of vibration does not answer words, it answers frequency. Let the chosen feeling saturate your being like a tuning fork. Third, declare your intention. One sentence, simple and present. Tonight I cross into clarity and return with vision. Do not ask, instruct. The subconscious loves commands dressed in certainty. Fourth, script the dream. Write 3 sensory details of the reality you wish to encounter: a sound, a light, a texture. The subconscious does not think in logic, it thinks in symbols. Give it raw material, and it will build the stage. Finally, anchor lucidity. Touch thumb and finger together as you drift, or imagine a golden light wrapping you like a seal. This becomes your inner signal, a reminder. I am crossing the portal awake. Upon waking, the return. Do not move. Catch the fading threads of the dream while they still shimmer. Identify the dominant emotion. Was it fear, awe, serenity? That feeling is the residue of the dimension you visited. Then, write 3 lines: the setting, the symbol, the emotion. No editing. Just capture. This is the map you will use to track recurring landscapes. Translate vibration into action. Choose one emotion from the dream and anchor it into the day through a micro-act. If you felt courage, make the call you fear. If you felt clarity, write the page you've been delaying. This is how the portal spills into waking reality. Finally, seal the day. Close your eyes for 60 seconds. Breathe, and relive the frame you wish to keep. This stamps it into the field, transforming dream residue into waking design. And finally, iteration. After 7 nights, review your notes. Look for repeating symbols: doors, water, fire, ascents, falls. These are not decorations. They are signposts of your subconscious. Each pattern reveals what must be healed, released, or expanded. The portal responds not to random attempts, but to coherence. The more consistent the ritual, the more malleable your reality becomes. Here is the hidden truth. If you fall asleep without protocol, you drift in borrowed currents. If you fall asleep with it, you captain the voyage. The portal is impartial. It reflects what you bring. The protocol is the difference between returning to the same reality and waking into a new one. Imagine sleep not as a black curtain, but as a vast laboratory, one where you are both scientist and experiment. Each night, you step into a chamber beyond matter, and the tools of this lab are not machines, but vibration, intention, and symbol. In this space, reality becomes malleable, soft clay waiting for your hands. The greatest minds have known this. Edison used to nap with steel balls in his hands, letting them drop and wake him at the edge of sleep, the threshold where ideas spark like lightning. Kekule dreamed the structure of the benzene ring. Artists, mystics, inventors alike have drawn treasures from the same well. These were not accidents. They were conscious uses of the portal. Here lies the radical shift. The dream world is not an escape. It is rehearsal. Every image rehearsed, every emotion amplified, every intention declared in the portal becomes a seed. And when you wake, that seed is planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious, influencing the architecture of your waking life. To see sleep as laboratory is to recognize that you are not a passive sleeper, but an active creator. The body may rest, but the mind and soul are experimenting, testing, rehearsing futures. Each night is an invitation to craft, to prototype, to sculpt the reality you wish to live. The portal is not just passage, it is workshop. And the dreams you carry back are blueprints of a world that is waiting to be born. Every night, you walk through the portal. Whether you honor it or not, whether you notice it or not, the crossing happens. And each morning, you return, sometimes changed, often unchanged, as if the vast corridor of eternity had left no mark. But now you know the truth. It always leaves a mark. The only question is whether you choose it or drift. Sleep is not just biology. It is a code, a frequency, a bridge between worlds that has been waiting for you to open your eyes within it. The ancients knew. The mystics practiced. The scientists are only beginning to glimpse what was always there. And now, it has been placed in your hands. So tonight, when the veil falls, prepare differently. Cross the threshold, not as one who collapses, but as one who carries intention. Let your vibration be the compass. Let your subconscious be the architect. And let the dream become rehearsal for the life you are ready to live awake. The portal is open. The choice is yours, to keep returning to the same reality, or to finally awaken in a new one. And if you are ready to journey deeper with us, to uncover more of these hidden codes, these forgotten laws, these gateways of the unseen, then step into this circle fully, subscribe to Infinity Echoes, activate the bell, and keep walking with us through the mysteries. The next revelation awaits.